All right, we are now live on both Facebook and YouTube. What's up, D?
Hey Whitney, I'm finna
So
share
we
the
are,
real quick.
yes, please do. Please share the live link on Facebook. But I mean, for any of you who are watching, as you can see by the description, me and my girl D decided to have a girl talk, but a public version of a girl talk where the world can literally watch us and join the conversation. So today we're talking about friendships, like making friendships as an adult. Because for me, it's hard. It might just be the type of person I am. It might just be my personality, but we're gonna get into all that later on in this live, right? So we're gonna go live for like an hour. Be sure to, engage with the conversation, share this if you like the content. But first off, we're gonna do some introductions. A majority of people already know who I am. I'm Whitney Styles, fashion, beauty, lifestyle content creator, but also an entrepreneur. My latest business endeavor and content project, I would say, is Currency Club. So, I've been talking about how the internet is full of negativity. And if y'all want some positive content, tap into the Currency Club. Because on the Currency Club, I'm interviewing people who have different brands, businesses, things like that to help them create awareness, hopefully, gain some new customers, get some new eyes on their business, their brand, their product. And I actually interviewed Dee for the Currency Club because Dee is also a businesswoman and a content creator. We're gonna let her talk about herself, right? I don't like to steal nobody's shine, but yeah, thank you for joining us today. So with that being said, I'm gonna turn it over to Dee to introduce herself.
Of course, and we love the Currency Club. Definitely tap in. I learned so much stuff on that channel, and I love how genuine the interviews are. So keep doing that. We love that. But yes, my name is Dee. My username's down there, D Forever. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I am a content creator slash entrepreneur. I do own a small beauty and wellness spa called Alluring Artistry. So if you're interested in getting some skincare done, some body waxing, brows, or lashes, go ahead and head over to aalashme.com. Outside of that, I am kind of like a micro influencer. I work with a couple different brands to post lifestyle content.
That's it. That's all you want the people to know.
I mean, I guess I can share more about my channel. So definitely go to YouTube and go to D Forever. It's spelled just like this. For some reason, if you put a space in between it, it doesn't come up. So type it just like how I have it down there, and you can check out my vlogs. I do a lot of day in the life of content. I am a licensed esthetician. So if you are interested in learning more about like what do I do in my day-to-day life, what type of career is that, what type of opportunities are there, you can check it out. And of course, I just show like a more goofy, silly side of myself. So you guys do get to see a lot more of my personality on my YouTube.
Yes, because she's very reserved right now. She's very laid back right now. She's very professional right now. But she turned up a little bit on her YouTube channel. So definitely tap in there. And y'all know I'm going to drop the links. I'm infamous for dropping a link to some things. So we're going to drop a link to her channel too. So with this kind of conversation, topic, concept, I don't know what I was trying to say. I'm mixing three words together. But with this topic of friendship, we thought it would be cute to share how we met because Dee and I actually met on Facebook. And this was years ago. How many years ago you think?
I feel like it's been 2 years because it was like I think it was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely during COVID because I just remember like just being online all the time. I feel like COVID kind of like made me a little addicted to technology in a
Yep.
sense. And I just remember like wanting to connect with more people like me because like being on YouTube and being a YouTuber, especially in like Grand Rapids, it's like a big small city. So it's kind of like being a vlogger and stuff. It's not a lot of people around here doing that. And I remember just wanting to like meet more people like me that like want to go to brunch but bring our camera, or go on a hike but bring our camera.
And that's absolutely me because I know I'm gonna record everything. Some people be ashamed and like afraid to take pictures in public or to take a picture of their food, but not me. I'm gonna make a whole production and I don't care who watches it.
I
I don't care
literally
if it's a
found this light on Amazon I'm about to buy. It's like this little bitty light that attaches
mm-hmm,
to like anything, and it just makes your content like next level.
mm-hmm.
And one of my friends was literally telling me the other day, like, please don't be that embarrassing friend. I just like die laughing because it's like some people really feel that way. They really believe like, why would you do that? But once you start making stuff, it's like your art. It's so much fun.
Yep. And if somebody is going to judge you or be embarrassed by you, they might not be the friend for you. Because I had some people like get annoyed when I take pictures of my food and I just like, oh, don't you worry, because it's gonna be the last time we ever go out to eat together. Because that's who I am as a person. If it's
Yeah.
gonna bother you, then maybe we don't need to be friends. We don't need to date. We don't need to do nothing. Girl, I'll be on vacation taking pictures of my parents' food. So even my parents, my sister, my nephew, like the dude I'm talking to, everybody know if we're going out together, I'm about to get this content, whether you like it or not.
Do not take a bite of that food until I did
Mm-mm.
my video.
Until I hit the record button too, because I like action shots too. But yeah, so D and I met on Facebook. I feel like there was like a group for YouTubers or content creators or something, and then we
It
had
was like
connected
a
on
post.
there. But was it in a group? Or it was just a random post, like all YouTubers tap in.
Post like our viewer vlogger, and I don't know if it was Michigan or Grand Rapids. I couldn't remember.
Yep.
But I feel like it was just a post because I'm not in like a lot of like local groups.
So then, y'all, we connected on YouTube, subscribe to each other's channel, watch each other content, drop some comments, and all that. And invited her to be a guest on the Currency Club. So we did her interview like January or February of this year. I feel like it was January because D was like my second interview on the channel. But y'all, we didn't meet in real life until this year. I came back to Grand Rapids. Y'all know I'm in Houston now. Most people know I'm in Houston now. So I came back to Grand Rapids for work in like May or July. I don't know. I was back there a lot. But yeah, and then we were like, let's meet in real life. And we did. And I've been feeling like I be struggling in Grand Rapids, right? Because when I go there, I stay with my parents, which is cool because they have a guest bedroom. But I'm cheap. So when my company don't want to pay for a car, I don't got no car. I'd be like, Mama, let me drive your car. Sister, let me drive your car. But you know, that's not always convenient. They got their own lives to live. They got work. They got kids. So that's not always convenient. So when I met Dee in real life for the first time, I was like, hey, girl, do you mind picking me up from my parents' house? And she's
And when
like,
I
yeah, I
got
got
my,
you.
I literally was like, what if she's a catfish? Like, I'm not trying to tell you, like, I thought you was a catfish.
You like think I was a real person?
I thought you were a real person, but I didn't think you looked like how you looked in real life. You know, like, but I actually knew somebody, my friend Keandra, that have already met you. And so she was the one that's like, no, like she's a real person. Because I don't know, people can be weird sometimes, especially on the internet. Like people can take people's photos and pretend to be somebody too, which is happening so much right now. But yeah, I thought you were a catfish. And then we asked for if I could pick you up too. I was like,
No.
something was like, just do it and just find out. Just face it. Like she either gonna be a real person or it's just gonna be some weird stuff. But I felt like we FaceTimed or something too.
Facts.
Like right like a week or something before you came. And that was another thing where I was like, okay, like she can't look too much different because I didn't see her on FaceTime now.
Now she thought I was a catfish. Y'all, this is hilarious because this is her first time ever telling me this. I didn't think that she thought I was a catfish, but that's the benefit to living in a small town. Like, that's the benefit to living in Rapids. Most people know you. Like, you can do a little reference check. You can ask people, hey, is she cool? Is she crazy? Is she weird? What is she like? What am I getting into by being friends with this person? That is hilarious. And I felt weird asking. I was like, that's weird. She might be crazy. Girl, you look sweet on the internet. Like your content is very clean. I was like, y'all, I'm going to be the toxic friend. I'm going to be the ghetto friend. I'm going to be the ratchet friend. She ain't want to be around me. Because I feel like I'm that happy medium, or like professional, but friendly, but a little ratchet at times too. So I was like, I'm going to be too much for her. I should probably just drive and meet her at the venue. But I was like, it's gonna be cute for content creation if we together and we can get to know each other when we drive to our venue and all that stuff. So that is hilarious. So we met in real life. She picked me up from my parents' house. She had her camera with her because she said she wants to blog the experience. So we do have some content around that. Don't know if it's ever going to drop or if we're going to add some more stuff to it so it can be a full experience. But, you know, she got that. We went to,
Super talk.
yes, without a reservation. And it was like a 30-minute wait. There were no seats at the bar. We were hungry. I'm always hungry. Y'all know I'm always hungry. And I was just like, let's not do this. So then we just went down the street and we went to the Cheesecake Factory and had some appetizers.
I thought
So
we ate
very,
Super talk.
we ain't eat at Cooper's Hawk. We left Cooper's Hawk.
Okay.
I know for a fact we went to Cheesecake Factory because we had drinks and the drinks were good. But then, girl, we
Okay.
ordered those Brussels sprouts, and them Brussels sprouts taste charred and fried. And I sent them back, and I was like, I'm that person. I send food back. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be annoying, but you're like, girl, I don't care. I don't want that either. And we had something else too, but I just know we had some like really good drinks and some appetizers, and we sat at the bar at Cheesecake Factory too.
And we talked about like men and dating and
Mm-hmm.
like aspirations in life. And I think we was
Mm-hmm.
like somehow we started talking about I don't know if we were giving feedback to each other, but we were doing like first impressions or something.
What we say? Because I don't even remember this. What did we say?
Um, I think we were just saying like I thought you were this or I thought you were that. And I want to tell you I thought you was a catfish at that time.
But girl, you should have knew I wasn't a catfish because I had interviewed for Currency Club.
I know, but
Who did you think interviewed you
I don't
way
know.
back in January?
On catfish, like people like look a certain way, but then you meet them and they don't look like that. So it was just more like, I don't know. I thought
So
you was like
look,
in a different way.
I need to know what type of person you thought I was hiding behind this alias. What type of person? Did you think I was gonna be short? Did you think I was gonna be overweight? Did you think I was gonna be like butch? What did you think that I was gonna be like?
I
Because
mean,
I am
all of
screaming.
that. I didn't know what to expect. So
Okay.
I just didn't know what to expect. Or like when we talked, you were one way, but there's a lot of people that like act one way on social media and then you meet them and then they're not that way. So I tend to stay away from like the mean girls. And so I felt
I
like
used to be a mean girl.
I can
Not
tell.
even on purpose. Not even on purpose. We're gonna talk about that next. Go ahead though.
But I know a lot of times it's not on purpose, but
Right.
I didn't know if like I was gonna meet you and then you were gonna be somebody like super high maintenance, or if you were gonna be somebody that's like chill, like I can be both and sometimes I clash, different personalities. So I think it was more so like a personality thing. Cause
Mm-hmm.
like the catfish, like you not being you did end when we FaceTimed and the interview. But then from there, my hesitation was more like the things I think about when it comes to making friends, like will our personalities match? Will we have any of the same interests? Just things that overthinkers like me do. And I'm a Cancer, so we just think and indecisive. So it was just one of those in my own head type of moments.
So I'm an overthinker too. I'll overanalyze like a mug. But I didn't have any of those concerns with you because I feel like we had talked enough for me to know that we had stuff in common. So I'm like, oh, she's a content creator. So am I. We both like to dress up, look cute, take pictures. We both like to vlog. We both like to travel. I was like, I'm probably a little more greedy than her. I probably go out to eat more than she does, but that's okay. And then, I mean, I know we had a few things that were different. Like Dee's married, and we might talk about relationships at a future girl talk. Y'all know I'm the furthest thing from married, sad to say. And people always want to talk to me about my dating life, and I just be like, I don't really want to talk about that online. And yeah, people just be trying to pry, and I just like, nah, that's not my internet persona. Y'all don't need to know who I'm dating. Y'all don't need to know who I'm talking to. Y'all need to know none of that. If I pop up with an engagement ring, y'all might know somebody then. But people just make assumptions, right? They be like, is she single? Is she in a relationship? What is she doing? Right. And I like it to be that way. So that was, I don't know, talking in circles. I don't even know what I'm talking about that. Other than the fact that D married and I'm not. But I just think I feel like I already knew like enough like that we was gonna vibe and we was gonna click. But the mean girl stuff is so funny. You said you thought I might have been a mean girl or personalities because people used to judge me based on my internet persona, as most people do. And then people would meet me in real life and be like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. And I'd be like, duh. Like, why did you judge me based on a Facebook post? And a Facebook post was never even necessarily mean stuff. Like, my Facebook friends might beg to differ. Like, they might be like, nah, remember that one time you posted this in 2007? Like, people be digging up skeletons, right? But I never was intentionally being a mean girl on Facebook. I just am a very direct talker. So I don't sugarcoat stuff. Like I don't be trying to make people feel good. My page is not about in the past. My page was not about positive affirmations. Like don't come here like it's some daily bread. Like I'm not giving out daily bread. I'm giving out my opinions on my page. So yeah, some people did not like me in the past based on my internet persona. And some people still don't like me. Some people be like, remember that one time in 2019 when Whitney made this status, blah, blah, blah. Well, I took that personal and I don't want to be
Well,
friends with her.
if she
So yeah, I never intentionally was a mean girl, but girl, I got that label from Facebook. And it's like, y'all ain't never even met me in real life. Number one, I don't care about your opinion. And for me to value your opinion, I would have to care about you and your opinion. And for the most part, I don't. Like, but
Yeah.
yeah, people thought I was a mean girl in the past. So it's funny you said that.
I also do feel like most influencers or like, micro influencer girls that I have met have been kind of like a little self-centered and have been kind of just not really looking to connect with people. Like I like to connect with
Mm-hmm.
people on a different level. I don't
Okay.
like like I do enjoy surface, but also like what is your soul like? I know that's like a weird thing for someone to say,
No,
but
it's
like
not.
like you have to be a certain type of person for me to even like want to connect with you or be your friend. I'm very selective. I'm nice to everybody. I'm a business owner. I have to be nice to everybody. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, when it comes to like making real friends, it's like it's a whole deeper thing. Cause to call somebody your friend, people just throw that around. That's such a big deal to me. For me to like refer to someone as my friend, like you got to be a good person, be doing something with your life. Like it can't just be a shallow friendship. And I feel like so many people just hang on to these shallow friendships and they're just a waste of time.
People use the word friend way too loosely. I don't. I'm not one of them people. I'm like, I got an associate. She cool. We know the same people. Friend? Nah. Before I left Grand Rapids to move to Houston, I feel like I had a good 5 friends, and that's not even a lot. But then after I moved from Grand Rapids to Houston, I lost touch with a lot of people that I was like, damn, I consider her family. Like she
Mm.
was coming to the dinner, she was here, she was there. Now I don't even talk to her, or I don't talk to her unless I reach out to her, and that's not a real friendship.
Yeah.
Like I know everybody has their own stuff going on. I got my own stuff going on. Like I'm the person who moved 1,300 miles away. I'm the person who got a job, like a new job, a new job. I'm the person who got a handful of friends, they ain't even friends, a handful of family members here and a couple of associates. Like I'm the person who out here on this island by myself. Don't y'all think I want y'all to check in on me? Whatever you got going on in your life ain't nowhere near more important than what I got going on in my life. Like everything's, I shouldn't say everything's equal, but I just said to say like we all have our own stuff that we dealing with. So if you consider somebody a friend, you shouldn't be too busy or too preoccupied with your own life or your new friends or your boyfriend or your kids or your fiance that you can't send a text message to say, hey, how
Yeah.
you doing? You all right down there? I could be dead and people wouldn't even know. But you know what? People would be thinking, oh, she's still posting on Instagram, so she must be okay. She's still posting on Instagram, so she must be okay. But I said I had to say, a lot of people use the word friend way too loosely.
Mhm.
After moving from Grand Rapids to Houston, I feel like I got 3 solid friends, and the rest of them just associates. Been in Houston almost 2 years. Only one of my friends that been down here to visit me, which is no shade to nobody else. Everybody got different budgets, different lives, but I just feel like people prioritize what they want. And distance and that out of sight, out of mind will open up your eyes to a whole nother side of a person. But
And
anyway, what is
it
your go ahead?
doesn't
Because I said a lot. I'm just saying all this deep stuff and then transitioning.
it doesn't seem like a boring place to visit either. It seemed like somewhere that you could go that you would have a nice chill time.
Chill or turned up, depending on what you want. Yes, definitely. So, Laura, what other criteria do you have for somebody who you're considering, being a friend? You said you care about their soul, and that's important. But what else?
Mhm. I
No
really
mean girls,
no mean girls. But
right?
I really believe that I really consider if somebody can actually celebrate my wins with me. Like if I'm considering you being a friend and I choose to be vulnerable enough with you to share anything positive or anything good going on, kind of like that initial reaction pretty much tells me what I need to know. Cause if you can't celebrate my wins with me, like you can never be a real friend to me when I'm down bad, like ever. I know that would probably make you happy, because people that are
Mm-hmm.
not happy when good things happen to you, that's really like what they're on most of the time. And I feel like to be able to celebrate somebody else's win, you have to be like in a really good space with yourself to even be able to be happy for somebody else. And I'm really more into entertaining people who are in that space. Like they feel
Mm-hmm.
like they got some things going on, or maybe they're inspired by me. You know, you don't have to be like 100% accomplished or nothing like that. You just have to have something going for you so that when I have my wins, it can be a positive thing. I found myself in a friendship before where I was afraid to share anything good that happened to me because I just knew like her reaction would disappoint me. And so that's when I started getting a little more reserved with like, all right, well, length of time of knowing somebody doesn't determine like the friendship. It's a lot of other things that go into.
Wow. So shout out to our viewers. We got a few people tuned in with us. I know for sure Darius was is watching. Hey Darius, because he dropped 100 when you was talking about celebrating those wins. I think Ellis is still here with us. He dropped a money bag emoji. My cousin Raina had liked this. So shout out to everybody who's here, tuned in. If you're here, drop comments, let us know. Say I'm here, drop some eyes, drop a thumbs up, something. Let us know y'all here. Happy to give y'all a shout out. Yeah, I love what you said about celebrating wins because in our teenage years and our adult years, I witness people who are in secret competition with you. They act like they're here riding for you, but they not. They jealous. They trying to get where you are. They counting your pockets. They trying to sabotage you without you even knowing. So yeah, all that is real. And yeah, I be celebrating B wins. B is a content creator, like I done say it 13 times, right? And she has really good content. I watch it, I comment on it, I share it. I'm like, she needs some more subscribers, right? We always trying to monetize our channel. No, it's not the first reason that we created content on YouTube, but I mean, it's a nice ad to be able to get paid for your content that you spend time creating, editing, uploading, marketing, promoting, right? So I was just like, girl, you so close to 1,000 subscribers. Why don't you A, B, and C? I was like, I know you can get your 1,000 subscribers in like a week or less. And she got there, and I was so proud of her. And I was sending her messages of encouragement and congratulations and all that. So, real quick on that, you were doing a giveaway for reaching your 1,000 subscribers. What's going on with your giveaway?
We're bringing up old stuff.
Oh, so now you don't want to talk about it. I'm thinking I'm over here inspired, celebrating.
Okay, listen.
What happened with your giveaway?
The other day, I just thought about it like, oh, I never did the giveaway. So I'm going to do the giveaway still. I only had like 5 entries. So I'm going to do like that little pinwheel, enter their names, and do a video. I did realize I missed that. That's one thing about the content thing is like the part of the reason is like the consistency for me. I done publicly went out there, post on every platform. I'm about to do this. And what happened Friday night at 7? I got
You
back.
forgot?
No, I'm to be honest. I'm gonna be very transparent about what happened. I got back home. I kept looking at the time. The closer it got to 7 p.m., my heart started beating harder. And I just was like, who finna go live at 7 p.m.? I took a nice shower. I'm just being transparent because people, we need breaks too. I don't like to overcommit and underdeliver, but this was a situation where it happened. I accept that. I know what I did wrong, but we're gonna try to do better. I really think next time I should just do a Saturday or something where I didn't, have to work the whole day, where I have a whole bunch of things going on because I do, suffer from anxiety from time to time. It's random times and random things. I literally made a TikTok the other day where it was like, when I'm in a big crowd of people, I'm not shy. But when it's an intimate setting, I'm shy. Like, ask me to go talk to an auditorium of 500 people. No problem. Ask me to go talk to 7 people. My heart just, I don't know why. And I just feel like because my following on my lives on my Instagram is not large, it's literally like an intimate viewing. I feel like that just makes me really, really nervous.
So I got 2 thoughts. Number one is friends hold friends accountable. So you threw a little shade at me for reminding you that you're supposed to be doing this raffle. Somebody's looking forward to that gift card or whatever the prize was. I read this like a week ago. Somebody's looking forward to it. Somebody's gonna be excited that I brought this up. Okay. And number 2, Instagram Live is trash. Like I swear that only works for celebrities. Like celebrities can log on and they'll get thousands of views. But I made a couple Instagram lives in the past, and it was like people only join for 3 seconds, 6 seconds. And it's just the engagement's really low. Like I got 3,000 followers on Instagram. 15 people might watch the live. Like So yeah, Instagram, we have a love-hate relationship. Like they want to force everybody to make reels. Sometimes I just be want to post square pictures, right? I'm an Instagram OG, had it since 2000 something when it was first launched. Sometimes I just want to go there for the little title like pictures. I don't want to be making reels on Instagram to stay relevant for my content to show up in people's feed.
And it's really weird because like my business page on Instagram for like a long time, it didn't get no views on my reels. And the other day I posted one, the same content I post on my personal page that got some engagement, got like maybe like 200 likes. I posted on my business Instagram. It's like almost at 800 likes on a
Mm-hmm.
reel. And it's like the same, literally the same content from my personal page to my business page. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you guys not give my personal page that has more of a following these views and likes, but you're gonna like my business page that like nobody even knows exists?
Let's just blame the algorithm on that. But girl, I want to talk about some story times. So I want
Oh,
to talk about making friends as adults because it's hard for the various reasons that we already talked about. Dee said she has some success stories. I mean, I feel like I'm an early success story. We're an early success story. We don't hung out once in real life. We hung out once in real life, but we stay in touch. And I feel like it's always a positive vibe. So we'll see where this friendship goes.
yeah.
But do you have other stories where you done met people in your adult life and y'all still friends?
Yeah.
Melee gang gang, ride or die?
Yeah, I was really surprised because I kind of, when I was younger, had a lot of close friends. And as I got older and like just choosing to go to school, choosing to do different things in my life, I found like all my friends going from like this big crowd of people, and it was just narrowing in, narrowing in, narrowing in. And so I kind of got to a point where I just became like a full blown loner. Like I started businesses, so I was friendly and I had professional relationships, but as far as like friendships, I just didn't really entertain them. I had maybe like one or two friends that were there long term, and I was just cool with that. But when I was teaching my fitness classes, I actually befriended one of my students, and we
Okay.
have a really good relationship now. She would come to class, we would talk, and when she was in class, she would always have great energy, a good attitude, and like a good personality. Because one thing I do like in friendships is like I like when women are direct. I like when
Mm-hmm.
women kind of have like a little attitude about them, but it's not like a chip on their shoulder type of vibe. It's more like, because this is who I am. Like, this is my personality. And she was just a little feisty. And I was like, okay, I like her. I like her. And basically, my business partner and I decided to stop teaching the classes full time. She had to step back for some other things. And this girl had kind of come up to us and been like, you know, I want to start teaching fitness classes. And when she first told me her idea, I instantly like felt a spark of excitement for her because I felt like she's been doing so good in our classes. Like I could totally see her doing something like this. So fast forward, she ended up getting certified in her class, and I started attending her class, and we just started hanging out outside of class. She would help me one on one, and then she would also get her lashes done by me. So she went from being my fitness customer to like my beauty customer as my business changed. And then eventually I ended up offering her a brand ambassador position for my company because I felt like who she is so fun. She's professional yet edgy, and I felt like she would kind of represent my brand good. So she basically, I met somebody as an adult that started off as a business type of relationship to becoming real life friends. And now we support each other's business, we get each other's customers. And I feel like that's been a really refreshing and positive experience because with her, it's a lot of things that kind of like that saying, like, you don't have to explain what's understood. That's like a really good way to describe our friendship. And all we do is laugh together and have fun. We love the same food. And it's just crazy because, like, without me teaching those classes or without me meeting her that way, I probably would have never became friends with anyone like her just because of the simple fact like I'm more of a loner. So I just
Mm-hmm.
thought that that was really cool to meet somebody as an adult and then turn out to just be a good person, like genuinely.
Mm-hmm. Love that story. Love the support. You said y'all support each other businesses. Y'all got some things in common. I feel like that's what I look for too when I think about who I want to be friends with as an adult. Like we have to have a few things in common.
Yeah.
I got a story time too. It's not as positive as these. Y'all probably knew that. I be feeling like I'm a toxic person. I swear I'm not toxic. But if y'all know me in real life, let me know if I'm tripping. But I was just over here thinking like, why am I 30 plus years old and don't have a lot of adult friends? And I was like, maybe I'm the problem, right? So I was actually talking to my cousin about this. And my cousin was like, well, there's a few things that we should think about. And my cousin was like, number one, you a no BS person, right? So you're not going to put up with a lot of people BS. And I was like, X. And then he was like, number two, you just have a strong personality that not everybody can handle. Facts. And number three, he was like, I think people are intimidated by you, both men and women. So people might not speak up and say it, but they might create distance or not want to engage with you because the way you present yourself, the way you look, the way you about your business, like whatever it is. My cousin, who's a male, who's about 40, told this after, obviously he know who I am. He knew me my whole life, but then also he friends on all my social medias. He's hung out with me in real life. So he know who I am. Like he has the full picture of me. He's not just judging based on one side of me. So I feel like all those things contribute to me not having a lot of friends. But I got a story time for y'all too. For anybody who's still hearing this.
It's the subtle disclaimer for me. It's the subtle disclaimer.
Just like, what's up, Michelle Williams? I saw you kind of tuning in and out. I don't know if you're still here, but I just want to give you a shout out if you are here. I also want any of the viewers to know if y'all got friends, story time type stuff to talk about. I don't know why I can't talk today. Like I literally do this. I do this all day, create content, talking to people. People who are tuned in via live. If you have any story times that you would like to share on the topic of making friends as an adult, please let us know. We will tag you into the live and you can join the podcast if you want. Okay, but here's my story time. So I moved to Houston March of 2021. Before I moved to Houston, I knew other people that lived here. So I came here like fall, winter of 2020, visiting this guy that I used to date who used to live here. He don't live here no more, but I came here visiting him, honestly, right? So he had a little circle of friends here, people he worked with, one of his cousins and a few other people. So we had went out for my birthday, a spot called Chapman and Kirby. It's like a turn up spot on a Sunday. And there's a mutual friend of ours. I'm not going to say his real name, but we both have this mutual friend who lives in Houston, right? So at that time, he had a girl with him and he introduced me to the friend and she seemed a little bit standoffish at that time. But like before the day was over of us drinking together, dancing together, laughing together, like she was cool, right? So we had exchanged Instagrams. So then we was kind of writing each other on Instagram, commenting on each other content. Once again, this is November of 2020. And then like after writing each other on Instagram, she gave me her phone number. Like, oh yeah, just feel free to text me. So I'm like, okay, she's cool. I'm like, okay, it's going to be my first Houston friend, right? This girl, once again, seemed cool for a very long time. So we messaged each other when I actually moved to Houston in March of 2021. We hung out both with this shared friend, but then also me and the girl hung out on our own. Like we had went out to eat. We had went shopping. Like we was like in my head building a friendship. She seemed cool. I knew it was little stuff about her that I didn't care for, but I was like, it's not a deal breaker. And what I had noticed early on is that she's passive aggressive. I don't do well with passive aggressive people because passive aggressive people, they bottle in their emotions and then they expect you to know stuff, but they don't, necessarily tell you out loud. So it's like, how am I supposed to read your thoughts? How am I supposed to know that I'm doing this and it's bothering you? Whatever it is, just like I know for a fact, I don't do well with passive aggressive people. I've had associates like that in the past and we don't talk no more today because you don't know how to articulate your feelings as an adult. And that's not my problem. I'm gonna give you 1 or 2 passes, but I'm not going to keep giving you passes and I'm not going to keep prying information out of you because at some point you have to speak up. So anyway, I knew she was passive aggressive by the way she dealt with this dude, right? But that once again, that wasn't a deal breaker. She still had other stuff that I look for in a friend. She's nice, she's caring, she's compassionate, she's a mother. She seemed to be a good mother to her child. She will go out from time to time, but she wasn't like a turn up person who had to be in a club 4 days a week. She worked a regular job. Like she didn't graduate from college, but I don't care about that. Like you don't have to have a college degree to be successful. So like she went to school at some point, but she has a career, right? So she has a real job. She had these other aspirations. Another thing I didn't like about this girl is I felt like she was a talker. Like I'm a doer. I don't want you to talk about your aspirations if you not making plans to reach your goals. Because with me, as I just did with you, Dee, I hold my friends accountable. So if you tell me you want to do something, okay, what's the timeline? You know what I'm saying? You want to do this in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? Like, I'm an accountability person because not enough people have that. So I knew she was a talker. Like, and I don't like people who cap. Like, I don't cap. I don't like feel the need to get validation from them people. So that's just not me. People who do that, like, I don't get along well with. So anyway, she had all these aspirations on her Instagram account for some stuff she wasn't doing. So I'm like, oh, I see on your Instagram it say real estate. What do you do in real estate? I do real estate stuff too. And she was like, oh, nothing at the moment. I'm thinking about getting my license. And I was like, oh, you probably should take that off your profile if you're not really doing nothing in real estate. And then she had some other stuff too that was just like making her seem more credible than she was. So in my head, I'm like, okay, she seek validation from other people. I don't seek validation from other people. I don't like that. But once again, it's not a deal breaker. It's just like stuff where we're not aligned that could cause tension later. But that ain't even, that's the deal breaker for you. So it's like in the back of my head, it's like I'm noticing all these things about her that I don't care for, but the good outweigh the bad. So I'm just like, I'm just going, continue to hang out with her because she didn't do anything to personally offend me. So y'all is Dee. Dee ain't never heard the story. Maybe you have heard the story. I don't know. But, so for all those who are still here listening with me, the friendship went south in summer of 2021. When I moved to Houston, right, I only went out to eat and I would go to lounges and day parties. Like, I'm old. I might not look that old. Some of y'all might throw some shade and be like, yeah, you do look old. But it's like, I'm not 21. I don't need to be at nobody's nightclub. Like, those days are well beyond me. So I go to a brunch. I go to a day party. And I'm taking my old self home to shower and watch Netflix. But anyway, after being here at this point, I moved here in March. It was like July, right? So like summer of 2021. I got to have some water for this. This girl was like, hey, Whitney, do you want to go out tomorrow night? She probably asked me on a Friday to go out on a Saturday. And I'm like, when, where, what's the details? Because I'm a details person. She's like, oh, a friend of mine knows some people. They have a VIP section. We're going to get in free. You don't have to worry about anything. Like, we can just meet up at my friend's house at 9:00 and then we're going to go from there. So I immediately wanted to say no because my old tail don't need to be in nobody's club. But I'm like, nope. Be open-minded. You're new to the city. She's cool. So she might have some other friends that are cool too. I'm a salesperson too. So in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, I'm finna push my brand. I'm finna sell my t-shirts. I'm finna give me some new followers. So in the back of my head, I was thinking, okay, meet with her network. And, I'm gonna make some new friends. But if not, talk about myself, maybe get some new customers. It's a networking opportunity, right? Oh, might meet some cute dudes in Houston too. You never know what you're gonna get, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out with her. Red flag after red flag after red flag before we even went out. So this is a long drawn out story. I should have asked y'all if you've got time to listen. But hey, you're here, so I'm assuming you do. Right? So this is Friday. She asked me to go. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go. So Saturday, I over communicate. It might be because I work in corporate America. I don't know, but I'm checking in with her constantly on Saturday. So I get up in the morning around 12:00. I'm like, hey girl, we still going out? Okay, so I can make my plans for the day. Yep, we still going out. Red flag started when we was talking about where we was meeting up versus is we gonna ride together? Is we gonna blah, blah, blah. So she said that she was gonna come to my house to pick me up and then we was gonna go to her friend's house. So I'm like, hey girl, let me know when you get here so I can let you in my parking garage because I live in a very secure place where it's a card access place and you have to like get buzzed in basically. So she's like, oh, I'm not picking you up anymore. And I was like, well, when you're going to tell me? Like you were supposed to be at my house at 8:30 so we could be at your friend's house at 9. So when were you going to tell me that you're not picking me up anymore? Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Can you just meet me at the friend's house? I'm like, yeah, I can meet you at your friend's house. And then I was like, your friend only lived 10 minutes away from me. Like, it made sense for you to pick me up. Because this girl, who I thought was my friend, this girl lived all the way on the north side of Houston. She lived 30 minutes away from where everything's happening at, right? But I live uptown. I live in a touristy area. Like, where I live, stuff be 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. So it made sense for her to pick me up. But anyway, I'm confirming, hey, girl, let me know when you get here so I can let you in the parking garage and we can go to guest parking. Oh, I'm not picking you up anymore. That was one of many red flags, but that just annoyed me. So I'm like, don't even worry about it. But I was like, I'm not driving my car to your friend's house because I ain't never been there. I don't know what type of place she live at. Yeah, I Googled it because I do research. I'm that person. But I was like, people's cars get broken into every day. And I had a Michigan license plate. I still got a Michigan license plate because who's going to check me? These police officers do not be worried about my license plate in Texas, right? So anyway, I was like, I ain't never been to this place before. I don't know what they visitor parking like. I don't know if they got security there. I'm not finna come home from a night of clubbing at 3 in the morning and my window bust out. I don't even have nothing in my car for them to steal, but it's just a plane. Like I drive a red SUV. It got an out of state plate on it. Like it's just so many red flags or ain't nobody finna target me. So I had my dude that I was talking to at the time drop me off over there. So then when I pull up at the friend house who I'd never been to before, she was just arriving too. And she was like, why did you have him bring you? And I was like, because you didn't want to pick me up. Why didn't you pick me up? If you would have picked me up, then he wouldn't have had to bring me. But furthermore, why is it a problem? I got here at the time you wanted me here. So then we go into this person's house who I never been to. They act like it's going to be
Tell
like,
us more about the environment.
okay.
Is it like a good area comparable
Okay.
to the area you live in?
Okay. So it is comparable to the area I live in because it's only 10 minutes away. And the apartments are advertised online as luxury. And it was a nice layout. I didn't see no security, but maybe security was somewhere else on the premises. I care about security, but it was like, it didn't seem all that secure because we didn't have to pass through no gate to get there, right? So I like to see gates when I'm parking my car. But anyway, when we walked in, it was a nice building. And it did kind of look like a luxury apartment. Luxury, between a mid-rise and a high-rise. It wasn't nowhere in the projects, but still, people break in all the time, right? So I get there, and she had arrived with one other girl. This heifer didn't even drive herself, which is, I guess, why she didn't want to pick me up, because somebody else had drove her. So anyway, she walks up with another girl, and her friend is nice. She's like, oh, girl, your makeup's so pretty, blah, blah, blah. You look cute. And I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. So I'm like, okay, it's going to be a good night. We go into this person's house. They telling me I had to be here at 9 o'clock. We didn't get there at 9 o'clock. We might have got there like closer to 10. But the point is, you rushed me to be ready at 9 o'clock. We get to the Burrows' house at 10 o'clock. And then we don't even leave until damn near 12 o'clock. So I feel like I done wasted my time. Somebody done miscommunicated with me because why did I rush to get ready for us to go to the stranger house and then we don't even leave until damn near 12 o'clock in the morning? So then, beyond that, I'm thinking it's going to be like 4 girls. It was like 12 girls. It was so many girls, we had to take 3 cars to get to the club, right? So it's a lot of people, right? And that's why we didn't leave right away, because everybody had not arrived and some people was still getting ready. Girl, people was, this not bad because I wear wigs. People was installing lace frontos. People was curling hair. People was doing makeup. The person who house we went to was super nice though. She was like, hey, I just ordered some pizza. Y'all want some drinks? Like we did a couple rounds of shots. So everybody was cool at that point, right? We get to the club. I don't know how many red flags y'all done count at this point, but we get to the club. The person, Cool Money said, woo, child. Michelle, like, definitely been through all this when I moved to North Carolina, making friends in the dog has its ups and downs. Thankfully, I found my tribe. I ain't found my tribe yet. Okay, but continue with this story, right? So now it's finally 12 o'clock. We about to leave the house. And the person who's driving, who once again was prepared, she was a good host. Cool Money Kimber said, I counted 100 red flags. They ain't done. The red flags ain't done. So y'all, dang, I'm a long drawn out storyteller. So anyway, the person who hosted, right? The person who hosts, I got dropped off at. I rode in the car with her. So she like, hey y'all, we finna go to the ATM. Make sure y'all get money in case y'all need it. So the people who in the car with me like, why do we need money? You said that we was gonna be in somebody's section and we're gonna get in for free. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, child, these heifers ain't got no money. They ain't came out the house with no money or not enough money to pay their way. It like red flag, red flag. And I was like, oh no, I'm good. I got cash. Like I always carry cash on me because I ain't counting on no stranger to pay my way. Bird brains. So anyway, the person who was driving, she went in, got some money from the ATM, and the other people stayed in the car. I'm like, oh, I hope these bitches ain't broke. Hope these bitches ain't broke. And I'm sorry to the audience because y'all probably don't do no cussing. But right. So we get to the club. The person who was supposed to have a VIP section is at a completely different club than us. Number one. We went to a club called Space. This man is like, where y'all at? And he's like, oh, we at somewhere else. He was never even there. And he was like, okay, how many people you with? And then he was like, it was just like 2 of y'all, you know, like y'all can hop in the car and you can meet us at this other club. She like, it's 10 of us. He like, well, I never had space for 10 people. Like I had space for you and maybe 2 other girls. I never had space in my VIP sections for 10 people. So then they're like, well, what do y'all want to do? I said, y'all done took 3 hours out of my life. I'm staying somewhere. Like we doing something. We either staying at this club or we going somewhere else. And then they like, okay, like who has money to pay to get in? And do y'all want to skip the line or do y'all want to, like, you can pay $40 and skip the line or we can wait in this line and there's no guarantee we won't get in. I said, I'm skipping the line or I'm Ubering home. Like, y'all can pick. Like, I'm not waiting in this line. Like, I don't do broke bitch shit. That's exactly why I'll go to the club. Because the dude that I talked to, when I went out, him and his friends was getting VIP sections, right? I'm not standing in line. I'm not being no general admission. I'm not being with general population. Like, that's not my vibe, which is part of the reason I don't go out because the people I be with don't be want to do that. Well, these new people, these new strangers. So anyway, So these people don't even got money to pay their admission. But the girl who hosted us, right, she got money. So she's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I just pay for all y'all. Y'all can cash at me later. She ain't pay for me because I ain't a broke. I didn't need her to pay for me. Right. So, like, they finna figure out if they're cash apping the door person to get in, if they cash apping the person we came with, whatever. So I pay my 40, we go in. Once again, there's no section because her people are at a completely different club. So we walk around. All of us look cute. All of us got heels on, but obviously our feet start hurting. And these African dudes noticed us walking around, tiptoeing around, looking like lost souls. So these African dudes was like, oh, just come in our section. So me and the girl who I thought was my friend, we went in his section and sat down, right? They had bottles, they had everything. So it was like, it was decent. Like we made do of what was there. And then when it was time to go home, this would be the biggest red flag. When it's time to go home, we get in the car with the people we came with. Oh, other red flag. These people ain't want to pay for parking. It's like, no, your car needs to be safe. Parking was like $40. I'm like, duh, just divide by 5 people. Like, we good. Like, that's nothing. So anyway, when it's time to finally go home, the person who I thought was my friend who invited me to these bullshit festivities and didn't even have money to pay her way to get into the club didn't even say bye to me. Like, she ain't say bye. She ain't give me no hug. It wasn't no thank you for coming out. It was no nothing. But the dude who had dropped me off at the house wasn't answering his phone no more. So he was asleep or he had other plans or something. So I was like, well, Court, I didn't say this person's name. Courtney. Courtney is the person I thought was my friend, right? So I'm like, well, Courtney, can you ask your friend to take me home? And then she was like, and then she asked the friend. And I was like, I just asked her friend because she's like, you acting like a mouse. Like, I got dropped off here. You won't even say bye to me, nothing. But you just finna get in the car and go a separate way? And like, you think I'm finna Uber home at 3 a.m? Like, I would have if it came to that. So the girl she was with, I was just like, hey, I live 10 minutes here. Do you mind giving me a ride home? Like, I got gas money, it's whatever. And she was like, oh yeah. So then I gave her my address and she was like, oh yeah, this like, you live 7 minutes away from here. You don't got to give me no gas money. And I said, yes, I do. Because I was finna be taking an Uber. Like, thank you. Right. Okay. So if that wasn't enough red flags for y'all, the person who invited me out was fucking broke. Wasn't gonna make sure I made it home safely. No, I'm not even from Texas or from no Houston area. So then I get home. I get home on a Sunday, obviously Sunday, 3 o'clock in the morning. Next week, I caught COVID. Long story short, I caught COVID. And this is when the Delta variant was out. And it was from being at the club, obviously, with no mask, because I was here partying during the pandemic. And I knew I had COVID because I felt so weak. And it was like I had all the symptoms except for losing your sense of taste, losing your sense of smell. Right. Mm-hmm. So I was at work. This is when I knew I was at work. It was like a Wednesday. It was like 12 o'clock. And I couldn't focus. I was just really tired. I was fatigued. I was just like, I just don't feel like myself. So then my dude here had took me to get a COVID test and then like I had COVID, boom. But y'all, I was so weak. Like my mom, my cousin, the dude I was talking to, like they thought I was about to die or something. Like when I had COVID, I went to a doctor. I had like IV therapy. Like they had to inject me with vitamins and stuff so that I could regain my strength and stuff. I lost like 10 pounds. I'm already kind of thin. Like I'm on the thin side, but it was rough. Girl, I lost 10 pounds. Yes. I barely got 10 pounds to lose. Yes. So I got COVID, was sick for 3 weeks, lost weight. People was checking on me. Like my cousin was dropping off groceries. My dude was bringing me food. My mama was ready to fly out to Houston. Like she lives in Grand Rapids and she was calling to check on me. But sometimes I literally couldn't answer the phone. I didn't have no energy. Like it was rough. Right. So I was sick for basically 4 weeks. And my job knew. I told them, like, y'all fucked up. Like I can't work. And my boss was like, take as much time as you need. So everybody handled it well. But girl, as soon as I got better, I started posting stuff on Instagram again. So then my fake friend had kind of checked on me. Not because she knew I had COVID, even though she did know I had COVID, because her dude that she talked to told her. Dang, hold on. Somebody calling me. Sorry for the interruption. It's okay. So anyway, she's like,
well, how did her know?
How did what?
How did her dude know you had COVID?
Oh, because my dude told him. Because I told you we had these mutual friends. Okay. Oh, yeah. So my dude was cousins with her dude, and I knew her dude from back in Grand Rapids. Like, yeah, her dude used to date one of my cousins here. So, like, I had knew this dude for like 10 years, which is why I say he's like a friend of the family, but he's still my friend down there now because I knew him forever. So, anyway, after me almost dying, she see me posting on Instagram and stuff, and it was like a holiday. It was like whatever holiday is in August. So, anyway, my dude was barbecuing, and I had posted him barbecuing, and she was like, oh, no invite? And I was like, oh, yeah, you can come pull up. And then she was like, well, I just feel like there's been distance between us. She texted me. No, she ain't even texting me. She writing me on Instagram. She's like, I feel like there's been distance between us. And then she deleted her messages. You know, Instagram give you that unsend option. Like,
Unsent. I hate
my
that.
boo, they
When people
delete their messages from a girl. Like, this is so annoying. Like, why are you deleting your messages? Like, ugh. So anyway, but I had already seen them because they like came across the notification. So then, like, I just text her and was like, "Hey, you're right. There has been distance between us because I actually had COVID and it was really bad, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it. And I know that you know that I had COVID because your dude told you, because my dude told your dude, and I know he told you. But I was like." I just feel like it's so weird that you didn't call me and check on me, but then you want to be petty about why I didn't invite you to a barbecue. But you can pull up to the barbecue, like pull up, like bring your dude. We'll play spades, we'll play dominoes, like it's whatever. Like I'm not mad at you. I just was not checking on nobody. Like talking to people, reaching out, making small talk was least of my priorities. I was trying to make sure I ate. I was trying to get some sleep. I was trying to not be waking up with hot sweats. Like,
Yes.
because I live alone in Houston. So like while I have a handful of people who will support me, it wasn't nobody making sure that I was this sounds bad. There was nobody living with me to make sure I had everything I needed, right?
Yeah.
My little circle of people, they was bringing me groceries and they was bringing me food, but they weren't watching me around the clock. So like they checked on me when they could, and if I was awake, I text them back. But I'm like, this girl over here being petty, talking about I feel like there's distance. Yes, there is distance. But I guess the way I want to end this story is just by saying I sent her all these long messages, long heartfelt messages, like, yes, there was distance because A, B, and C. On top of me being sick, I thought that the way that we ended the club situation was not ideal. It would have been nice if you would have made sure I was good to go. You was going to just hop in the car and peace out and like not even say nothing. Like I thought that was weird, but like it's just like I'm learning who you are as a person. But once again, it's not the end of the world. Yes, there was distance because blah, 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 but it's not the end of the world. Like we can still be friends. I just know how to interact with you now. Like you showed me who you are, so I know how to interact with you. She didn't even write back. So I done sent you 13 different messages. She didn't even write back. But then these other red flags, because she passive aggressive, she unfollows me on Instagram. She never resolves the issue. And it's passive aggressive to me because she never resolved the issue. But instead, she unfollows me on Instagram from all the social media platforms.
You guys went out to the club that night.
Yep.
Was she like dancing around you? Like
we were right next to each other.
Pictures and like vibing.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, was she just so like messed up that she wasn't thinking right? Or do you feel like that could be a reason why she was just gonna leave? Like, or do you feel like it was just that
I don't think she was that faded where she did not know what was going on. It was so weird because like we had a couple shots before we went there because neither one of us was driving. And then we had maybe a drink or two while we were there, but she definitely was not faded. Like she knew what was going on. Maybe it was just her personality, or maybe she antisocial. I don't know. It was just so weird. So yeah, I done poured my soul out to this girl saying it's no beef. Yes, there was distance because, and then she just didn't even feel the need to respond to my text messages, and then she unfriended me on Instagram and stuff. And that's why I was like, are weird. And I'm trying not to cuss a lot, but are weird. These Houston people, the girls in Grand Rapids, like the girls in Grand Rapids who moved to Houston, like everybody's weird. And at this point, I just don't even want to be friends with y'all. I'm gonna be good by myself. But anyway, I know I said a lot. So go ahead, ask me some questions. We're gonna take it to wherever else you want to take it to after this. But that was my one story of where I proactively tried to make a friend in Houston. And it seemed like we were friends for I was gonna say months. Yeah, I feel like it had been like 9 months, 10 months. It had been a decent amount of time, but yeah. And then now we're just nothing.
Okay, so I got a few questions that come to mind when I hear this story. Do you feel like she may have felt like her dude was into you at all? Because I feel like I've been in situations similar to this where two couples meet up and then the girl does not like me for whatever reason. Like if her dude asks me any questions, my boo is very like chill, like we all getting to know each other. He wouldn't think twice about it. But we've been in the room where girls have been weird. And he has brought it to me like she seemed really bothered when we was just all talking. She was the only one quiet. Like he would even notice things like that. So I'm just trying to feel like, did you ever feel that way about her?
No, but I think it's my own bias. Like my own bias is that she knows that I know this guy, her boyfriend. I know her boyfriend from like 10 years ago because her boyfriend used to date my cousin. So I've always considered him like friend of the family, and I've always called him cousin. But clearly that's play cousin. So maybe she's thinking that what I don't mean nothing. Like just because he dated
Yeah.
her cousin don't mean she won't turn around and date him. So it might have been me being naive to think like, oh, she should know I'm not gonna cross that line. She should know I'm not interested in him. I literally date his cousin because my dude and her dude were cousins. So I was just like, that would just be awkward. And I would hope she would know that I'm not that type of person
But
for
I
those
will
reasons,
say,
the
because
family
I've had
reasons.
friends like this, I think in this situation, it was just just the plain fact that he used to date your cousin.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with you. I feel
That's
like,
why she was standoffish in the beginning. And she said that. She was like, because once again, people judge you without knowing you. So the first time I had ever met her when I came to Houston in November 2020 and was celebrating my birthday, she had said, well, I didn't want to be like overly friendly to you because I thought you weren't going to want to deal with me because your loyalty is to your cousin. I'm like, girl, my cousin to moved on, had a baby. She ain't thinking about this dude. But I
yeah.
hear you. Like, I understand why you wouldn't just like welcome you with open arms in the beginning. But then she was like, oh, but yeah, after talking to you, you cool. Like, I'm happy that we met.
But
That's what she
see,
said way back when.
you even bringing something like that up, if it's not a big deal, what we need to clear the air about?
Yep.
That's how I feel about it. So I feel like the fact that she even brought it up, that's probably what it was. I think at the end of the day, she probably thought you were somebody that was going to either give her tea on her man or somebody that she was going to be able to use. And when she saw that you're like this, like we ain't into that, that's when she was just kind of like, I'm going to just draw back.
Yep. But
That's
y'all, look, the icing on the cake is after we had all these weird interactions, after she basically cut me off last year, right? Last year, August, it seems like, when I realized she had unfriended me and stuff. Y'all, why I seen her 2 weeks ago? So, like 2 weeks ago, was this 2 weeks ago? I don't know. It was around Thanksgiving time. Me, her dude, somebody else had hung out. We went to her dude house afterwards just to kind of chill, They had shots. I ain't had no shots because I was a driver. I'm a responsible driver. She was at the dude's house. She ain't know I was pulling up, right? I hope he told her. I don't know. I don't care if he didn't tell her. Like, clearly, I'm going to be here longer than you. It's just how I feel. So, like, at the end of the day, we consider each other cousins. I knew this man for 10 years. If y'all work out, great. If y'all don't, I'm probably going to be here hanging out at his house with the next girl he talked to. So, you shouldn't have no hard feelings against me. But anyway, so we pull up to the dude's house. I went to the bathroom and she was like in his bedroom or something. And then we all hang out in the living room and she tiptoed out the bedroom. And I was like, hi. Just like that. I didn't make small talk with her because I don't care about how your life going from here on out because you fake and you clearly don't care about me as a person. But I was like, I don't got no animosity towards her. You weird and you passive aggressive, and that's fine. And I don't want to be your friend no more. But I was just like, hi. And then we made general conversation. And on the way out, I just left. He walked us to our car. She ain't say nothing. She sat on the couch. Being the weird person she is.
wow.
But anyway, yeah, I just thought that was weird. Like, way to bring the story full circle.
I can't imagine like unfriending somebody because I'm like butthurt about something and then them popping up in the same crib I'm in. Like, that's
Like,
awkward.
skirt, I'm here. You thought I was gone? You thought we weren't going to be friends no more because you being weird? No.
So, did you ever tell your cousin about what happened?
My real life cousin who used to date this dude?
No, your cousin.
Oh, my pretend cousin. I did. So at that barbecue, yeah. So like, yeah, I did on multiple occasions. Like I hung out with him in real life afterwards, and I was like, "Hey, your girl's acting weird." He was like, "What you talking about?" And I was like, "Well, this happened, and I don't like how that ended. And she seems to have an issue with communication, but you know me, I over communicate, and then blah blah." He was just like, "Oh yeah, she kind of going through some things personally," and I was like, "Okay." So it's like he gave her a pass. I don't be giving people passes like that.
Yeah.
Like, because you got to communicate. Like, we need to hold each other accountable at some point. So, yeah, you might be going through something, but to unfollow me, unfriend me, like, people be really thinking that's a big deal. And it's like, what I do to deserve that? It's okay because your pictures was trash anyway. Like, all you do is take pictures in the mirror trying to show your little booty
off. A lot of the situations like that, you just be following to, like, be nice and to, like, you don't want to create some sort of division. You want to keep it cool. So you just do those things. But there have been times where I feel like I could say I was on the other side of unfollowing somebody. But
you did unfollowing?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because it wasn't because of any history or any interaction. It was just like I met a mutual girlfriend in a girl group. And we were out of town when we met. And then when we kind of got back to our hometowns, we just weren't vibing like that or really talking or had enough time to talk. And that person never ever posted any content. Like the last time they posted was like 2018 on their Instagram. And
Are they
so,
still alive? You ain't do no wellness check?
well, they would DM me and respond to my stories.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I knew that they were still there, but like even when they respond to my stories, it would never be like word. It would just be like heart eyes, flame emoji, very just dry. And like I feel like it was like a few months where I didn't even interact with this person. And plus Instagram petty because they tell you least interacted accounts.
Yep. I
And
like that. And I'm like, let me go ahead and unfollow that person. Real quick,
there.
not trying to interrupt your story, but I've been unfollowing a lot of people now because I just feel like I don't want these forced followships anymore. Like if I'm not inspired by your content, if you don't post on a consistent basis, if you like ain't posted since 2018, like why do I need to follow you? Like we could just be Facebook friends or something. I don't know. But I ain't finna block on my timeline or just I'm following 1,200 people and only 600 of them are active. Like no,
Exactly.
I'm cleaning
And
up my
that's
friend
really
list.
what it was. I seen her name on that list and
Okay.
I
Least
just
interacted with, and then you just went ahead and followed her.
and then I was just like, yeah, unfollow because I didn't see a point. But
Mm-hmm.
now that I know, you know, unfollowing people can really get them thinking like, well, what did I do? It's kind of like I am a little more selective on who I follow. It's a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
that follow me and we talk a lot and I still haven't followed back because there's still like question marks to me. If
Mm-hmm.
I meet you in real life. If you're a stranger and I don't know you, you just have to post the type of content I like. Like I like clean content. I don't like ratchet content or nothing like that. I want you to teach me something, inspire me, have a good aesthetic, and then I'll like follow you. But
I'm surprised you haven't unfollowed me yet then because I post some ratchet stuff sometimes. It mainly just be like song lyrics and stuff like that though.
I know
Like cute
you're not
pictures.
what I'm talking about at
Okay.
all. I feel like you are one of those in between people, kind of like how you described yourself earlier. And I feel like that's why we get along is because I feel like I can get there too with the music that I like, but it's not like our everyday, like that's how
Mm-mm.
we do. It's more so
That's
like when we're having
100%.
fun, we're more open.
Yeah. What's up, Sarah Cole? She said, I unfollow people I'm uninspired by too. Yeah, I feel like that's the new wave. Like before, it used to be follow for follow or following people trying to be friends with them, or, oh, I've known this person since elementary school. Let me go ahead and follow them on Instagram. Not
Yeah.
anymore. Because no, you need to be a fashion beauty lifestyle creator. You need to be a positive person. You got to be a hustler. It's just like there has to be something that I'm drawn to where I actually like your content. Maybe a foodie, travel a lot, go to nice restaurants. I don't know. Just there has to be something. Like I don't follow people just because I know them anymore. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry that might offend some people, but yeah.
It's
Um,
also like social media too is kind of like your platform. Like when you get into content creation and being an influencer, you also realize that you actually have an audience and you want to actually influence them because that's how you get brand deals. That's how you get to the stage of monetization. And so I think it
mhm.
also gets to a point where it's like if I'm scrolling through my timeline, I'm seeing all the stuff I like, and then you decide to post a grilled cheese. Why would you post a grilled cheese? That's for your story. Like,
Unless the person is a chef, I'll follow some people who are like chefs.
but
Shout
a
out to
grilled
Monica
cheese.
if you're watching. Go ahead.
Oh, that's so cool how it pops up.
Oh yeah, I forgot I had that function. Y'all, I just added Sarah's comment because we were talking about
All
I
this
unfollow
stuff,
people
she's
I'm
like, such and
uninspired
such
by.
said this, such and such said that. I'm up here like, why I can't see?
Yep, yeah, there's this cool feature of the StreamYard app I'm using. Cool Money. I don't know if he's still here, but Cool Money has some thoughts too. He said, and yeah, it's hard to make friends as an adult. I learned that moving to Arizona, people just different and a little weird or cliquish, but hey, it's life, gotta adapt. Facts.
And I feel like kind of like how you said, like people thought you were a mean girl, but you're not. When it comes to like cliques as adults, do you feel like that could be, is that all an intentional thing? Like they're choosing to be that way? Or do you feel like it could be something that we perceive as they're a clique when in reality, it may not be that?
I think it's both. I feel like sometimes the click is based on a common interest, but sometimes the click is, oh, we all grew up in the same hometown and now live here. So we're going to hang out together still because we were friends back in the hometown. But then I also feel like what I be seeing in Houston is people with shared interests, like gold diggers, sack chasers, or I want to look rich, so I'm gonna, wear this outfit and wear this designer bag, and we're gonna go to these upscale restaurants and have drinks and make ourselves available to whoever's gonna pay attention to us because I'm an attention seeker. I see them type of clicks too. I see the surge clicks where everybody got the BBLs, the breast implants, the whatever. Yeah, I
See,
see a
because
lot of
I
clicks.
always
I
thought a
see the
clique.
30-inch weave, nails done, face bead clicks. Yeah, I feel like it's both. It's like the circle that you always had, and then also like that common interest as an adult, where you got to look a certain way to be involved. Go ahead, though.
I always felt like cliques were only consist of like groups of people who are intentionally mean to people that are not just like them. I guess
Oh,
I
see, I wasn't putting a label on it. I wasn't putting it on like be mean to people or not like us. But you know what? You're right, because they don't let people in. If they don't have those same interests or that same persona, they don't let people in, or they're not as nice. So you're right. I didn't even think about it like that.
do you feel like you can have a healthy like life as far as friendships come if you never join a clique? If you just kind of, pick and choose friends from different circles?
Yeah, I don't want to click. I don't think I need to click because I don't want to be labeled with the click stuff. So I'm okay with having one person who may be in a click, but I don't necessarily want to be in that click. And I feel like that's the route I'm gonna go to. Like I met some people here that I could be a little more intentional about building friendships with. But, I'm lazy and I'm a loner. And I'd be 100% okay with working my job and then going and watching some Netflix or creating some content, posting that on a consistent basis, and then hanging out with my family on weekends. But yeah, I need to figure this friend situation out. So, D, in the audience, what tips do y'all have for me? I'm trying to make a friends in my adult life. What advice or tips do y'all have for me as we wrap this up? Girl, we've been live for an hour and 6 minutes. And I know we
Oh,
both got
that's
work
how we're.
tomorrow.
I
Hmm?
will look better for the next live, y'all. I was working all day. I look so crazy.
Oh, girl, you want to do this again? Is this our
Yeah,
pilot? We're going to come back and do more?
yes. I
Okay.
think we should do
Okay.
more.
Okay.
It's a lot to
Okay.
say because I low key want to talk about toxic relationships, whether it's with your significant other, family. Because I feel like this
Friendships?
was the intro. Like we talked about friendships. Now we can dive into what do toxic friendships look like and what do healthy ones look like.
Yes. Because we're going to get
But
into some
tips
toxic
to
ones.
good friends are going to be authentic is my first tip. I feel like if you go out there and you continue to try to be somebody you're really not, you're never going to be able to attract the right type of people that's for you because they're going to be attracted to something that you can't maintain because it's not a natural thing. It's not actually who you are. The
Mm-hmm.
second tip is to be realistic in what you want in a friend and in a friendship because I know that's my problem. My expectations are really high for people. That's a big reason
Mm-hmm.
why I don't have a lot of friends. I have associates, but not a lot of like friends because I really expect a lot. So I need to kind of work on myself and be realistic about what I want before I go out there with friends because I feel like if I don't be realistic, I'm gonna always be disappointed. I'm gonna always
But
be like,
look, go ahead, because I cut you off.
no, 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 say what's on your mind.
What do you think you're asking for that's not realistic? You said you feel like you have unrealistic expectations, which might be blocking some friendships. What? Like,
with
what
some
is unrealistic?
with
Not
some people that
support.
I know.
You said support a person who's positive, but you said a couple other things in the beginning, but none of that sounded
I
like it was too
know,
much to me.
but also like it goes back to like the wanting to be celebrated thing with friends. I feel like that's something that like I have friends now that it happened, but it lacked in the past. So like things like being in a play or a graduation and you attend but you don't bring me flowers or you never like acknowledge and like give me something meaningful, like give me a custom gift. Like sometimes I do feel like people are kind of like, wow, D, I never would have thought you even wanted that from me. Or like a friend I haven't seen in a while, like, why would you come here and you didn't bring Starbucks? It's just like,
Oh my goodness, are you setting these expectations for friends? Like, what do you drink from Starbucks? Because the next time we link up, I gotta have Starbucks for you. So, what do you drink from Starbucks?
I drink the peppermint mocha year round. It's the seasonal drink for Christmas time, but they can make it year round. And I
Okay,
feel
I
like
drink
little,
those too. We got that in
yes,
common.
they're
I
like
drink
the
those too.
best. Like, we definitely not drinking no matcha.
She blogged that. She tried it for the first time and she said it was disgusting. But she's like, but I'm gonna drink it because I spent my money on it. So yeah. Okay, but what else? Like, what do you think that you're asking for that's unrealistic? The
I don't
celebration and the gifts. Oh, real quick, real quick. Do you already know your love languages? Because what I'm hearing is words of affirmation and gift giving and
Yes,
receiving. Is
those
that
are
accurate?
my love
Those your
language.
top
And it was a tie also with time spent.
two? Okay.
So I'm a big like making time. So like if I text you I'm sick, I'm expecting like when I get home from work, you're knocking at my door, you brought soup, you brought everything, and you about to sit here with me while I'm sick and watch TV and cook my soup for me and just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like drop everything else that's going on in your life because it's a temporary time that I need you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of like friends that are more busy, they always fall short of that expectation of me. But then also it boils back to like I'm an above and beyond person. So I feel like for my friends, I do like the most. And so
Mm-hmm.
I like that returned to me. It's just most people are pretty much like it's not intentional. Like I didn't even think about that, like I didn't mean it that way. And when I actually hear where they're coming from, I'm like, dang, like I do need to work on my expectation because I did want my friend to like stop what she was doing even though was going to a meeting or an interview. I did think that I was more important and I wanted
Okay.
her here with me. So I just say be realistic because also pretty much the story you told today too applies to that, where it's like when people show you who they are, don't keep hoping and wishing and praying for this friendship from this person when it may be a capacity thing. It may be something that they're not even capable of giving. Maybe you want this friend, you know that this friend owns a business. So you always really want to talk with this friend about business and being an entrepreneur. But anytime you guys get together, she just talking about life and boys and traveling and partying. And you're like, man, like, I wish that we could have, a relationship in this way. But it's like that person, they're at capacity. They're not willing to give that relationship. They just want a friend to like let loose and let go with. And for me, I feel like I meet certain people and it's always a part of a plan for me. Like that's my
Mm-hmm.
toxic trait in a friendship is that I meet people and I'm like, how do they fit my life? And what's the plan? And when they come into my life and they turn out to be something completely different, I have times where I'm like, I don't really know if I want this friendship because it seems like it makes sense that we would be these type of friends together, but like you want to be this or you want to be super close, and I don't like super close friendships like that. I like friendships where like we talk and we connect and we're truly there when needed, but not to the point where like we have to exhaust each other because we give so much all day every day.
Do you have a best friend?
Just
As
like,
an adult? You said I lost you?
so I did have a best friend. I don't have a best friend anymore.
What month or year did this relationship go
Okay,
in a different
so
route?
I feel like last April or March, the first quarter of last year. It's been like a whole year when this year came. So this coming April will probably be like 2 years, I think, that
Mhm.
I haven't.
I'm a Scorpio. Real quick, D. Sarah Cole said, "What are y'all signs?" I'm a Scorpio. My birthday is November 20th. It actually just passed.
Happy belated birthday. Oh, I told you happy birthday.
You tell me. What's your sign? You are
I'm
July.
June
June.
27th. I'm Cancer.
Okay.
So that's why my
Back to
thoughts
your story though.
about this because obviously it's layers. But
Hmm.
where was I at?
You were talking about this friendship that ain't a friendship no more. You lost your best friend a year and a half ago. It's gonna be 2 years by the time April 2023 comes around. And then I think you're about to tell me why.
Yeah,
I think.
so Nothing, nothing really. It wasn't like a something that happened dramatically that caused the friendship to end. I think I just sat down one day and was like, I want to kind of like lean out my life because I was working in corporate America. I was running two businesses. I was doing YouTube and like in mentorship programs and in business programs. And I just really had a lot going on. And I felt like my time became more precious to me. And unfortunately, I'm a workaholic. So when it came down to like, are you going to have friends and maintain this? Or are you going to like unplug and get what you need to get done? I chose to unplug and get what I need to be done. Because at the end of the day, like friendships do take like a lot out of you, depending on the type of person you're friends with. Some people need that every day, every second friendship. And I really look at those friendships and I think that they're beautiful. But I just realized as an adult, like I realized I used to could maintain that, but as an adult, I really can't. Like my next best friend has to be the type of person that doesn't mind sending voice memos back and forth every day because that's what works for me. Excuse me. It doesn't always work for me to like write out a whole text. It doesn't work for me to always sit on FaceTime or on the phone. But when I'm in the middle of my day and I'm running to Target and I have a thought and I pull out my phone and say something really funny to my friend, those are like the type of friendships I feel like I can maintain right now. I don't feel like I'm even in a space to like have like a super close best friend. I may be overthinking it, but also like I'm working on so many things with myself and with a standard, and in my own boundaries. And I just feel like when I did have a best friend, I didn't have it was no boundaries. So I was left kind of like in a lot of tension situations or a lot of things that I didn't understand. And it was because, well, I never had a boundary. So this person just, felt like whatever was cool. And it got to be so much where it was to a point where it wasn't even one conversation that I could have that would change it. It was just so many things. So that's when I was just like, I don't want to maintain it. I just like, prayed about it and was like, hey, like if this person reaches out to me, you know, I know that this is someone that I should still have in my life. And if they don't and they fade away or time just fades us, then, I accept that destiny.
Do your friends have to be religious and or spiritual? Both? Neither?
No, one of my one of my closest friends now is actually an atheist.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I don't really religion is, that's every man's own journey. So when it
Mhm.
comes to religion for me, it's just like, I don't mind you doing what you got to do, but please don't be bothered by me doing what I do. And
Mhm.
that's just how I feel about it because I'm not checking or worried about, what you got going on. I'm not judging you. So, but religion is a big deal because a lot of times people, I feel, make a mockery of the religion that I follow. And so
Mhm.
sometimes in social settings or sometimes when they start drinking or they get a little too comfortable around me, they like to say like little passive comments about what I believe in. And that's like a ultimate, like, we could never, because even my
Mhm.
atheist friends have never done anything like that. Like even they
Throw
have
shade. Take them
respect.
shots at you.
Yeah, and it's just like, listen, like I know you had your experience, but let me have mine in peace because I'm not here preaching to you. So why
Mhm.
are you, acting like that?
Okay, I
But
want to talk about boundaries real quick. I don't want you to lose your train of thought, but I'm just this top of mind for me. You said your previous best friend relationship did not have boundaries. Is that what I heard? What type of
mhm,
boundaries do you feel like need to be in place for you and your best friend, or you and friends in general?
you just can't be sucking my time with like
Oh,
nonsense.
okay.
It's the biggest boundary. And also just like I get some people like to share, information, the whole gossip thing. I'm not a huge gossiper. And so my boundary is like that you understand that about me. So every time we talk, I don't want to
Oh.
hear about what anybody else got going on. From time to time, if it's a celebrity, like y'all know I'm like all into like the celebrity gossip. When it comes to people's real life stuff that's like really sensitive and you're bringing it to me, I don't even know them. that's kind of like a boundary issue to me, because then I feel like it's a trust issue right off the rip. Because if you're telling me this intimate information about this person, what are you saying about the things that I share with you confidentially? Like, I'm a confidential person, like I'm a private person. Like, I love social media because like you share what you want to share, you show what you want to show. At the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
that shit could be real or not. And I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, with my last best friend relationship, it was just no boundaries. Like, this person had like shared, you know, information before, and I just felt like they really didn't have a boundary, and they didn't really understand the depth of like why you shouldn't tell people's business.
Well, that's a problem in and of itself. That sounds like a character flaw to me, to understand why. If you can't understand why people, dang, get it together, Whitney. What I'm trying to say is, we as humans, we as adults, need to be able to respect other people's privacy and not repeat everything that we hear.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big problem. Okay. Well, folks, we've been here for 1 hour and 19 minutes. I think our time is really coming to an end as we think about how we all have to get some rest so that we can get up and go to work in the morning, or, get about our Sunday evening activities. Dee, is there anything else you want to say before we go? I did drop some of your links in the description box. Dee says she wants to do this again. She wants to do this again, meaning go live again. She wants to have another conversation, right, through Facebook and YouTube. And she wants to talk about toxic relationships, friendships, toxic, all that. Relationship does not have to be, subject to just a significant other. So we gonna be back. I don't know when. Next week, 2 weeks, next year. I don't know. Let us know when y'all want to see us again in the comment section. I'm always trying to drive some engagement. If you
But no,
still here
just hit
with
me
us,
up
thank
on
you.
socials, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. As Whitney said earlier, we just reached 1K. So I just want to keep climbing and go further and further with that. And yeah, let me know if anybody's out there interested in anything in the beauty industry. Definitely connect with me. I could be a good resource for you.
Absolutely. If you need your lashes done, eyebrows done, waxing, facials, she can get you together with all that. Her or somebody at her salon can. So, with that being said, don't forget to subscribe to the Currency Club, subscribe to my YouTube channels, check all of us out on Instagram. We are content creators. And thank you for your time, attention, and engagement. I hope you enjoyed this conversation and this girl talk. And I guess I'm just going to get out of here. So, thank you. Love you. I'm not a mean girl. That was a joke from earlier. That was a joke from earlier in the live. But yeah. All right, girl, we out.
All
D, stay
right.
on.